Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a different type of video. I always say that when there's something remotely different. I thought I would interject and put this clip in to do like a foreword before I get into the video, because I didn't want to introduce the clip while I was making the video because it didn't feel right. So today's video is going to be about lessons I've learned during the pandemic. I wanted to switch up the style of the video and try something new. So without further waffling, but yeah, please make sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. My Instagram and my other social medias are linked down below. With that said, enjoy the video and then I shall see you guys in the next one, which will be on Monday. 2020 has been a year, let's just say that. A lot has gone on, a lot has happened. The whole world is hurting, the whole world has just stopped, and life isn't the same anymore. There's a few things that this whole pandemic has taught me, and I wanted to share those with you. Number one, a rainy day fund. The biggest thing I've realized since this whole situation has happened is that I was not prepared. Much like everyone else and the rest of the world, it hit us hard. Personally, my finances were not in order. My savings were not in check. I did not have savings for something like this. Granted, something like this is very unlikely to happen in a lifetime, but it happened. And the main takeaway from this is Rochelle needs to be better with money. I've always done that. Rochelle needs to sit down now and be like, okay, the money you get coming in needs to be diverted into specific areas, and your savings need to be built up again, because you never know when you're going to need a rainy day fund. Number two, that we take things for granted. The biggest thing that has hurt me personally is hugging. I just love a hug, and a lot of my friends do. My family are very huggy. Not being able to do that has really affected me, because it always feels like there's something missing. Even though I've been able to see friends, you don't realize how much power a hug has and how much it feels like people are there, who are close, who are all in it together. This whole pandemic has been a sense of detachment from humanity, because we've all been socially distancing, we've been apart, and we thrive on interactions and we thrive on being around people, and not being able to have that small thing that brings us together so closely has really taught me specifically that I won't take hugging for granted again. Other things that this pandemic has made us look at is things like shopping, how easy it was to just pop into the shops, come back out, how easy it is to jump on a plane, how cheap it is to jump on a plane, fly to Europe for a $5, for a tenner, spend a weekend there, how easy it was, and how all of that's just stopped. It made me also realize how much I took family for granted. Family doesn't see eye to eye all the time, but in these scenarios, in these situations, you really do realize how much family can help you, and how much family, just seeing family, can help your mental health and just make you feel a bit more at ease. Being from an Indian background, social interactions are the top of our list. Family interactions, family gatherings are a continuous thing. They're not very spontaneous. They happen all the time, and that being snatched away from us has really affected us. Indian culture is built on family, and I think I've noticed it, my family's noticed it, how hard it's been not being able to see my aunts, my cousins, my uncles. Like, when we get together, we have so much fun. We don't agree on everything and we argue, but it's fun, and seeing everyone is so nice. That not being able to happen has really made us appreciate family a lot more. Number three, support small businesses. Coming from a family that owned a small business and still run a small business, I can vouch for how important these things are. I never really understood the power of shopping small, because it was easier to buy from big companies, it was cheaper, but this pandemic has taught me that smaller businesses are sometimes, or most of the time, a lot more ethical, a lot better than big corporate companies. I've learned that some companies have just been doing the wrong thing, and I have chosen to not engage with those companies anymore. So the purchases I have made over lockdown, I have tried to make from Etsy, from local buyers, from small shops, and I will continue to do that. Number four, the beauty and the ugliness of humanity. This pandemic hasn't just been a virus, it's been a human virus as well, racism. And as a brown person, it's really shown, even though I knew how bad racism was and how ingrained it was, it's really shown me how behind people are and how much further we have to go. The beauty of humanity, the NHS, how we've come together to look after each other, how we become nicer, and just everyone looking out for each other to an extent. And then you've got the ugliness. This pandemic has really brought out the idiots, the people who don't listen to the social distancing rules, the people who don't stay in for other people, the racists, how bad racism is in this country, how rife it is, and how ingrained into people's heads it is. The battle that is racism is gonna be a long one, and it's really just brought everything that is horrible about this society, about this country, about this world to the surface. The world has been hurting, and the world has opened all its wounds, and I think everything needs to be seen to be healed. My gosh, there's a long way to go. We've got a lot. As much as we've learned that we need to be more compassionate, we need to be more caring for each other, we've also learned how horrible people are. Number 5, pandemic has taught me to slow down, take time for things that really matter. I've been taking a lot more time reading, breathing, taking time for myself, just been doing a lot of YouTube. My family's personally lost a few people during this pandemic, and one of them was someone I knew, not well, but they were not very old, and that death really hit me, because this person I had seen a couple of months prior to going away on my backpacking trip, and that really hurt me, because life disappears in a click of a finger. It goes and you can't do anything about it. So this pandemic has taught me to slow down, stop, do everything in your life that you want to do, but slow down and take time for yourself and look at what you want to do, look at who you want to be, look at what really matters to you and what you really want to do, because there's no point living a life that you're not going to enjoy. And I made a lot of career reflections and career path choices during this pandemic and lockdown situation, where I really had to be frank with myself and be like, what's gonna make me really happy? And it wasn't what I thought. This pandemic has been a whirlwind. There has been so much going on that it becomes so overwhelming. And for me, the racism has taken a forefront. I've been go, go, go. I've been like reading books, signing petitions, campaigning, posting on social media, reading, sharing, conversations, education, talking to family, all of that. And it's exhausting dealing with someone dying in your family and people being stupid in the streets, people not listening to social distancing rules, and all of that all takes a toll on you. You feel like you are fighting the world and you are just one person. And I know that I'm not the only person who feels like this. I'm not the only person who's actively speaking out, educating themselves. But looking at the mountain that is racism and how far we have to go after we've seen everything that's been uncovered, is just like, is there any point? Because in my lifetime, as much as I would love for it to not exist, it's not gonna go away anytime soon, and that hurts, that scares me. But then I think of my kids. If I have kids, I don't like kids and I don't want kids, but if I do, I will teach them to be actively anti-racist, and I can hope that my generation and their generation are the quick changes, the quick flip that we need, and we can only hope and pray. But everything's just been so hectic and go, go, go. You feel so overwhelmed and you feel like you're fighting the world all by yourself, and you just want to shut down and stop. And it's okay. It's okay to shut down and stop and take time for yourself, because you cannot run on an empty battery. The whole saying, this is a marathon, not a sprint, is very, very appropriate for this situation, because you can't give what you don't have. You need to be your best to give your best. The power of slowing down is a beauty. And finally, spontaneity. This pandemic has thrown all of my plans off. All of my holidays I had planned, all the work I wanted to do, all the jobs I was looking at. I'm very much a planner, and I've always said this in my videos, and I've said this throughout my channel. The one big thing Southeast Asia taught me was to be free. And I've said this before, that when I go again, I'm gonna just book a flight out there and then just do everything as I go, because spontaneity is so much fun and it's so much better. I love planning. Of course, you need to plan to some extent, but I plan to the extent that there is no fun at that point, because everything is solidified. And the one thing that this pandemic has taught me to just let go, because things like this crop up and you didn't plan for it, and that threw a spanner in my works. And I was like, what do I do? And I can't do anything. And all my video ideas were gone, all my plans were gone, like I just said, and I'm forced to be like, Rochelle, you need to work without a plan. And that to me is scary, but I can now do that and feel a bit more comfortable with it. It has taught me to just let go and enjoy life as it is. And this couples up with losing a family member. Enjoy life, do everything in life, live your life to the fullest, have a bucket list, jump out of planes, like bungee jump, swim with sharks. I want to do all of those. Plan them, do plan them, don't plan. Because you never know when the next pandemic will jump up on you and throw all your plans off. So thanks 2020, expect the worst, hope for the best. So yeah, that is my 6 pandemic lessons. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I shall see you guys in my next one. Bye.